Hi, and welcome back to part two of the introduction to my world. In the first session, we discussed a number of things, but in particular, the importance of asking ourselves the two most important questions in life, being, who am I? And what have I come here to do? What is my purpose? I also talked about the importance of experiential learning, and that was in part to establish credibility and to help with mindset around what is really important here. Because the two types of learning, we can read, we can study, we can attend lectures, we can attend courses. But in terms of internalizing that knowledge and making it part of our being, that takes something else. That takes actually living the journey. It takes truly experiencing that knowledge. So I hope I shared that with you, and I also shared an example. But I also alluded to the fact that in order to really explore the question of who are we, who am I, we need to face the illusion of who we think we are presently. Now, if even part of you senses that there may be more to life, that perhaps you are could be in your element, in your flow, so much more. Maybe you get angry some of the time, you get resentful, you get annoyed, frustrated, as I have. And you need to look deeper to see who you are being and look for the answers that can really help you on this journey. So, to help explain this further, I'll go back to when I was 34 years of age, because at that stage of life, everything seemed to be working pretty well. I thought I had everything. I'd had a loving family upbringing. I'd had a good education. I had my degrees. I had entered into a career originally with government and research, and then in the oil industry, where I'd progressed into marketing management. I'd been married for 2 to 3 years. I had a wonderful new home in a prestigious suburb of Perth. Everything seemed to be working out pretty well. I thought I was well liked as a person, but my relationship failed. And some part of me recognized that I needed to be accountable for some of that. And I had trouble seeing that. And so I attended a course with a gentleman called Keith Hayes, who then ran the Perth School of Self-Improvement, which I think he also called the School of Metaphysical Science. And that journey changed my life because I needed help to unpeel the onion. I needed help to see what I couldn't see. I needed to wake up to myself. And this is part of the magical process that I want to share with you. Because I guess I saw myself as all of those things I talked about. And so I thought there couldn't be anything wrong. But when I had to learn that who I am has no form, who I really am is that unique spirit, that unique talents, that unique sense of being connected, of love, of being my own self. And although that sounds fairly obscure, all of that unfolded by firstly removing this illusion of who I was. because I had to first of all get away from I'm not my body, for example. I'm not what I see in the mirror. That isn't really me. It's just my body. To get away from the fact that I'm not my genetics as such. I'm not my career. I'm not defined by my relationships as a husband, father, whatever, by my career, my position in my career, my postcode. All of these things that we tend to associate as who we are to make ourselves look good, to reinforce the sense of identity. I needed to strip all those away and start to look a lot further in terms of what is it that I am. And I guess in the bigger sense, I needed to distinguish the difference between doing and being, and I needed to connect my head with my heart. So all of that is a process. And that transformation, as I call it, can occur for some people over many years, and in others it's in one moment of time that transformation can occur. And I guess for me it was a little bit of both. But when I realized that I had to let go of this whole concept of my worth, who I am, was around what I did, was around I had to be doing things all the time. I had to be busy. I had to be acknowledged for what I had done, instead of really looking at who I was being while I was doing those things. And once I saw that my true essence was around creativity, doing things that I was actually passionate about, having this sense of love and connectedness when I did something, and only doing things where I could take something, work with people, and transform into something much bigger than it currently is seen as. And if I could do all of those things with everything that I approached, my whole life was resonating with who I am. And then on top of that was the acceptance that I already have everything I need, because I think this is something that doers struggle with. They always need something more, always got to have more possessions or more something. But the acknowledgement that I have everything I need, and in that sense I'm already peaceful and complete, that is a transformation in itself. You see, I believe that we take on this sense of identity, this illusion of who we are, right from birth, because we create this persona around our survival. We create it around every time life provides a new challenge for us, and a lot of these occur in our very young lives. We adapt, we change, we work out ways to cope, and we identify with those, and they become part of our personality, part of our identity. And in order to justify and support that identity, we continue to act out this illusion. And often we become quite unhappy. Often we sense underneath that it's really not who we are. And if that's you, I hope you'll stick with me on this journey, because it's truly a wonderful experience to be able to explore this illusion and to create the new you. It's not really a new you. It's a you that's always there. It's a you that's waiting to be heard, but it's covered up. It's protected by what one could call ego, but what that really is this whole sense where your consciousness and subconscious work together to protect you, to keep you coping with life in the way that you always have. So I hope you'll take the next steps and share with me in the growth towards really understanding who you are and what you are here for. Thank you.